Do you ever have the kind of relationship where you really want to press in and you really want to encourage and you really want to tell somebody that you love them, specifically family, but you don't because you have a fear of what they might do or they might say? About 9 months ago, I wrote my grandfather a letter. He's somebody who supported me and helped raise me my whole life. But about the age of middle teenage years, things tend to get a little bit awkward and you don't know what to do or what to say. And he continued to support me for the next 10 years as I graduated high school and I went to college and so on. But there came a point in my life, and I would say maybe 8 or so years ago, where I stopped pursuing, I stopped giving him a hug, I stopped telling him I loved him, I stopped because I was afraid of what he was going to do or his response was going to be. And so I let fear get in the way. I wrote him a letter and told him how much I loved him, all the ways about him, his character that I loved and the way that he had influenced and changed my life. And I spent the second half of the letter apologizing for the fact that I let fear get in the way of me looking him in the face and telling him that I loved him. I told him he didn't really have to respond if he didn't want to. The letter wasn't about me creating something great or even being recognized or known. The letter was simply about the fact that I wanted to tell my grandfather that I loved him. This Christmas, he gave my son a Christmas present. It was a little blue Ford tractor that has pedals that you ride and a little trailer on the back. His father bought it for me when I was 4. I used it, rode it probably until the wheels fell off. Been sitting in a barn for probably the past 20 years, 25 years. He spent the last 9 months restoring the tractor from the ground up. Had it repainted, had new wheels put on it, had the bed liner sprayed inside the trailer. And this Christmas, he pulled a cover off of it and gave it to Ezra, my son, who's 2, so that he could have it. In the back of the trailer, it said Pops, which is what I called my great-grandfather, a little arrow that said Rocky and a little arrow that said Ezra. For me, that tractor is a manifestation of the work that is required when we put in effort into relationships. I could have spent my whole life afraid of the fact that I wanted to tell my grandfather I loved him and how thankful I was, and I would have let fear get in the way. But with one simple letter, me having a little bit of moment of vulnerability and courage, our relationship has changed. And now not only will my son get to know his grandfather, or great-grandfather, I guess, but I'll have the opportunity to get to know my grandfather in a way that maybe without the letter, I would have never have known. So my challenge to you is, what is that relationship for you? Where is that place for you? Who is the one for you that there's something that needs to be said? That it's time for you to build up the courage, to build, to rebuild, to maintain, whatever it is. It's worth it, I promise.